Do it? Yes.
Are we really alone in the galaxy? Infinite stars surround our world, and aeons ago, intelligent life must have emerged somewhere and slowly evolved into a spacefaring society. Like us, surely these beings would have been drawn to explore. So then, where is everyone? Is it simply the nature of intelligent life to destroy? And maybe the only signs of life they're able to send are in a brief window before that world perishes. Still, no one has come, and no radio signals can be detected across our silent galaxy. Could civilizations ever cross thousands of light years and find more than alien graves? Maybe it's just pure luck that greed or catastrophe have not yet ended our species. Can we make the right choices? Might we learn from our mistakes? Will you overcome the Fermi paradox? The Fermi paradox.
Yeah. I feel that kind of explains it better than I ever could. Today we're going to be playing the mag demo, Fermi Paradox. The game is also available in early access on Steam and GOG. Observe two advanced civilizations living light years apart in our galaxy. They're called the Humans and the Prune, and they're unaware of each other's existence. There's only the two civilizations in the demo. I've actually seen somebody play with all of them. And it just seemed like a really interesting game to watch. I watched quite a bit of it, honestly. Welcome, Galactic Gardener. Sapient life has evolved and prospered in our galaxy. Help these civilizations to grow and fight each other in the vastness of space-time. But beware, sometimes you have to prevent them from destroying themselves or others. Would you like to play the tutorial? No, I don't think I need to. I've seen enough of it, I think I can pretty much do it. Okay, so we have the human nations and Prune dominions. And in this game, you manage the resources and the population and the tech in hopes of not having them wipe themselves out before making contact with the other species in the galaxy. Some are easier than others. Like, see, they've got ridiculous amounts of resources. Their only issue is their growth. I could just give them at least breaking even or just a tiny bit of growth. You don't want to have too much because then you usually end up burning through your resources. Like, there are tons of humans and too much growth. If at all possible, I'd like to slow down their growth. Planet Earth is dominated by the human species. Their civilization is dangerously close to collapsing their climate system. Humans never received any signals from an extraterrestrial civilization and are wondering if they are alone in the galaxy. There's the first one that actually will boost our ethics. Not a bad thing. See, that one will lower our harm potential if we have a war, which isn't necessarily a good thing, because sometimes if you have too much population, you kind of want to lose some. No good choices here either. We'll just go for the question mark, I guess. Influential human president rises to power on Earth. Environmental protection measures enacted by human ecologists restore a land region on Earth. That'll help. That's only helping in the short term. I need to actually lower the human population growth. Development event. Consumption in Seoul. Global meat industry. To provide the humans with industrial meat products, their nations raise livestock inside factory farming complexes all over the globe. Furthermore, the meat animals emit massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere of Earth. Domesticated chickens and cattle may well be an evolutionary success story, but they are also among the most miserable creatures that ever lived. Is Yuval Noah Harari, an Israeli historian in the 21st century, on the Sol system. So, these are the major events, which you can either spend synthesis to prevent, or not, and just let it happen, or you can make it worse, and you usually gain synthesis. And the last thing we need to do is make our resource scarcity worse. I'm going to say probably regular development. Yeah, so far they aren't giving me a whole lot of options to balance them back out. All I need is maybe one or two growth things to fix them. Rune are capable of travel to other planets of their star system, but did not manage to construct an interstellar vessel so far. They don't need any more resources, but couldn't hurt. Of course, I don't get the synthesis if I take that. In the Gliese system, a major dominion falls from influence. Gliese prune planetary engineers establish new resource management methods. Okay, that didn't help my synthesis, unfortunately. Prune mourn the death of a great fusion engineer who leaves behind an important legacy. prune mourn the death of a beloved supervisor. And they are not giving me anything to do with growth on either group. Really annoying. Let's read this. The genderless prune, four-eyed horse-like humanoids developed over millennia. That one's already gone. The ancestors of the prune used neutron bombs in a planet-wide conflict centuries ago. Today's descendants of these atrocities are vulnerable to genetic diseases. Glycosy prune planetary engineers established new resource management methods. Okay. Prune are sending signals into space. Stranded interplanetary spaceship. Interplanetary spaceship of the prune is stranded on the edge of the Gliese system. The crew transmits emergency signals in desperate or perhaps vain hopes of attracting assistance from afar. The communication may even reach other star systems after many years. First rule of space travel, kids, is always check out distress beacons. 9 out of 10 times, it's a ship full of dead aliens and a bunch of free shit. Rick and Morty, animated sci-fi sitcom, 21st century. That's actually kind of cheap. For 10? Yeah, why not? We'll signal boost it. Then we'll just pick up some more synthesis. Keep them alive if anything bad happens. Probably the humans more likely than them to have an issue. Oop, keep pressing that button. Anything for you? Not really. If we ever meet alien life forms, will they be similar to our meat livestock and disgusted by humanity for breeding and eating creatures like them? Possibly. Mass meat consumerism diminished somewhat. Oh, gone already. The population of Earth is divided between societies with relatively high living standards and a dependent underdeveloped majority. Yep, sounds about right. See, now I've got positive growth here and I don't want it. Humans mourn the death of a beloved president. Remember that ancient shipwreck that sended a rescue signal for decades? What happened if anybody had picked that signal up? Okay, I'm gonna say that probably wasn't supposed to be for here. That might have been a slight glitch. I noticed that one stuck around no matter where I went. Humans mourn the death of a beloved president again. Give me negative growth. Weird, the population stuff isn't changing. It should be going up quite a bit at 5% for each one of these I click. Once powerful government falls on Earth. Earth human college just established new resource management methods. Huh. Yeah, they're having issues. No, that's the opposite of what I want. Conflict between two major prune dominions is settled peacefully. Human nations, a great war threatens Seoul. War on terror. After a shocking attack striking the heartland of one of Earth's major military factions, their president denounces the perpetrators as terrorists and rallies for an international campaign to destroy them and their support network. Wanton killing of innocent civilians is terrorism, not a war against terrorism. Noam Chomsky, American political activist, 21st century. Sources. Our choices are peace, regular conflict, and total war. Unfortunately, this won't help my resource problem. But I think it's the one I gotta take anyway. Yeah. Oh, it dropped the growth down. Good. That's actually exactly what I want. That should balance them out in the long run. Maybe work on their ethics while I'm here. Or this. Because now that's actually pretty high. I mean, by the time I get them down around 4 billion, might balance out the resources. Go ethics. Humans enjoy an enchanting new style of video game. Now I get the negative growth one here, of course. Humans mourn the death of a great digital expert who leaves behind an important legacy. On Earth, human ecologists establish new resource management methods. Humans mourn the death of a beloved president. Humans mourn the death of a great digital expert who leaves behind an important legacy. I got one more year. Go check on the prune again. They're still in negative growth. Depopulation in Glycid. Prune are creating highly attractive android models, capable of satisfying every thinkable sexual appetite and being romantic substitutes for the lonely. Will the use of these love machines be the end of interpersonal relationships in the Glycid system? I've been making a man with blonde hair and a tan, and he's good for relieving my tension. Dr. Frankenfurter, Rocky Horror Picture Show, 20th century. Solstice. So this isn't good. It could snowball. I don't think it will with regular development. That would be, I don't know, maybe -5 or 6% growth. 7.5. Yeah. Not great. Could be really bad in the long run. I actually wanted to make their growth go up, not down. Don't really matter. Oh yeah, that's going down fast. Resources don't matter for them. 66, 65 million. There we go. Ooh. 63 million. Yeah. Yes, every one of those I can get. Okay. Human nation. Soul is sending signals into space as well. Televangelism, of course. Religious preachers on Earth use television network to cultivate large followings among the human population. Broadcasts wander through the vacuum of space, perhaps even within reach of other civilizations. As you use your faith, God is going to wipe out your credit card debts. Mike Murdoch, American televangelist, 21st century soulfit. Since we already sent the other one, I'm going to say silence on this one. Get a little bit of synthesis out of it. Well, theirs is spreading fast. Okay, yeah. More growth. Influential prune solar colony becomes a trade hub for the entire Glycia system. The Glycia system, a major dominion, falls from influence. We're living in a computer simulation. That is a theory I have heard before. Question mark. Hey, it fixed our growth. Major prune solar colony grows significantly in size and influence. I don't really need the resources. I mean, 1.2 million years will probably cover me for a while. End of demo in 460 pulses. Lisa is building spaceship. Interstellar migration. Many prune live in squalid solar colonies and overcrowded space stations. With no future for their offspring on Glycia C, they secretly repurpose discarded ships in preparation for a journey to the Sol system. Well, that would be a place you could possibly go. You'll automatically run into the humans. If you make it. Butterflies have always had wings. People have always had legs. The reality of most of migration today reveals the unequal revelations between rich and poor, north and south, whiteness and its others. Parsha Walia? I want to say that's Parsha Walia. Author and activist. 21st century soul system. Not familiar with that author. So, if we do an epic project, they will have more people, but that's not necessarily a good thing. And it will leave this more likely to fail on the home world because it lowers the population of the Air Force. I think I'll just go with regular development. Yeah, they sent 3 million. Hmm. 2.5 billion resources. 149 years. That sounds a little rough. Don't know if they'll make it. I mean, as long as I don't let them start growing or anything crazy. Oh, that always helps too. Optical computers simulate efficiency protocols for the prune outcast vessel outcast crew. That didn't do much. Brought it down by 0.1. You don't want population growth on a transport vessel, I don't think. Which doesn't seem like a good idea unless you're running on the verge of being wiped out because of negative growth or war between them. This journey may be the noblest prune endeavor of all time. Possibly. Decorated prune outcast vessel fringe captain retires from active service. Prune outcast vessel development event. Prune outcast vessel, prune power. Clone commandos. Over the decades of their journey, the robotic infantry of the prune outcast vessels do not have enough combat practice or any experience of a real military conflict. Fusion engineers propose to start cloning the best military officer on board. I personally picked my best assault navy commander as a template for the clone troopers that we should breed aboard the Pride of Epsilon. Governor Vaha, Gorgon planetary tyrant, 507 generation after Gorgon. Epsilon Indy system. Huh. I'll just go with prevention. I have 55 synthesis. It seems unnecessary. Handful of prune clones of a former military officer were among the outcast crew of the prune outcast vessel. Their genes did not turn them into superior robotic infantry, and they were treated as outsiders. So, outcasts among outcasts. Okay then. Decorated prune outcast vessel fringe captain retires from active service. Go with the regular. We reach our destination safely. Several prune outcast vessel officers are removed from their posts. Signals from space. Oh, they received the signal. Souls receiving alien signal. Space probes. The humans built several unmanned space probes to examine their solar system. One of these probes wanders far into the Oort cloud of the Sol system and is picking up the distress signal of the prune civilization. This is a present from a small, distant world, a token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our thoughts, and our feelings. We are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours. Voyager Golden Record, NASA Space Probe, 20th Century, Sol System. Let's say enthusiasm. Kind of the whole point, especially of the demo. Signal is relayed to Earth, and the scientific community rushes to build a whole fleet of additional space probes. This leads to a massive spike in technological development. It should fix a few of our problems. Well, resource scarcity, better ethics. Once powerful government falls on Earth, our digital experts are lying to us. Do we want to balance them out now? That is the question. I think we could still cut a few off. On Earth, the work of a remarkable digital expert is widely circulated among the humans. Humans enjoy an enchanting new style of video games. Could we defend ourselves against an alien invasion? Evolution a bit. On the Vex system, sapient life evolved on Vexus. New civilization is born. The life form on the garden planet of Vexus has started making simple tools and developed a rudimentary language. But which species will form a Stone Age civilization in the Vex system? Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place. Douglas Adams, science fiction author, 20th century, Soul System. Another civilization is born. You will have to foster these creatures too, guide them in parallel with the other civilizations in the galaxy, and one day they may make contact. Synthesis can be used to help any society. Sometimes you will have to make hard choices to ensure the survival of everyone. Ori, Tyr, and the Demoni. Vex, a flare star, is orbited by the garden planet Vexus and a dense comet cloud. A complex network of deep canyons stretches across the surface of Vexus. Within this maze, a multitude of ecosystems and climate zones can be found. Underground oceans lie below the deep canyon network of Vexus. Plant life has evolved here to take energy from surface runoff and geothermal vents. Devoid of any atmosphere, the high plateaus of Vexus are a deadly wasteland. Inside the canyons, however, a bountiful variety of animals thrive. The Bautir are an intelligent rock-climbing plants. The Bautir clump together on high cliffs, competing for sun exposure. I think that's the one I'll go with. And they are actually in really good shape as far as starting groups go. I've seen much worse starts. I mean, their growth will get them in trouble in the long run, but overall not bad. The depleted land region on Vexus just recovers under the care of Bautir planters. Prune development event. Extinction on Gliese. Asteroid terrorism. A radical paramilitary group in the asteroid belts of Gliese are using magnetic field manipulation to redirect countless asteroids on a collision course with inhabited planets. The prune dominions don't have enough spaceships to destroy them all, but refuse to bow to the demands of terrorists. Take a look to the sky, just before you die. It's the last time you will. It's Metallica. Heavy metal band, 20th century, Soul System. I'm somewhat familiar. That is a lot of lives lost. Asteroid terrorism. Counterterrorism units are able to neutralize the radical cell in the asteroid belts before losing any critical food storage or population bases. I think that's what I'll go with here. Save the prune. More tests. A little more pot growth. That was quite a bit, actually. There should still be good for a long time, though. At 2.5% growth at 1.2 million years, that'll last. Brilliant fusion engineers' findings are a topic of discussion among the Outcast crew. Might want to save some more synthesis. They have 378 pulses left. I think they'll make contact long before then. Or they'll land. I mean, technically they've already made contact. As the human nations received the signal and they were enthusiastic. Important prune outcast vessel fusion engineer died. Prune outcast vessel, prune growth. Next generation of prune. Prune of the outcast vessel raised new offspring during their journey towards the Sol system. The birth rate of the outcast crew rises faster than old prune perish. Is there enough space on the refitted transporter to host everybody? The urge to deal with rising population numbers lets people do monstrous things to each other all over the galaxy in many different times. Generational shifts amplify these issues, and the fate of many future generations was decided early on. Shomanu, Transgalactic Citizen 16.230 after the galactic unification. On board the warp commuter Affinity. Again, I don't think you want to go super crazy with that, because then you'll just run out of resources and then they'll get wiped out anyway. Regular development will probably be fine, or you could just dead end it and get the synthesis to save yourself from the next potential catastrophe. I think I'll go with the dead end. Out of concerns about continuous growth, the fringe captain of the prune outcast vessel declares a strict one offspring per death program for the outcast crew. Prune outcast vessel outcast crew developed a new dialect of their native language. Resources. That did absolutely nothing because it's already low. Prune outcast vessel crew counselors inspire the codification of peaceful first contact protocols. Well, hopefully, we'll reach our destination safely. Serious disputes arise between the prune outcast vessel officer. Prune logistics officers are optimizing the efficiency of the prune outcast vessel. Human nations, knowledge and soul. Network-based education. The dominant education model in human society is transmitted through an interface of network computers. In every corner of Earth, students gain access to information on a wide range of scientific fields and forge social bonds through research projects and educational games. Share your knowledge. It is a way to achieve immortality. Dalai Lama. That'd be what, 14th? Dalai Lama 14th. Tibetan monk, 21st century, soul system. Had to remember my Roman numerals there. Oh, nice. Okay, so you can make it a civilization pillar for free. Can't beat that. Get them closer to the prunes tech level. I don't want more negative growth. I think they're fine now. They're actually starting to balance out. They're going positive on the resources. The once powerful government falls on Earth. That's something they still need to fix. I've seen that on other people's playthroughs too, where they'd have 2 or 3 of these things stacked together, too close to actually pick one. We'll keep the growth where it is for now. We could lower our harm potential. The harm potential is outrageous. Yeah, a flat 1% drop, not bad. Conflict between 2 major human nations is settled peacefully. Human anti-terror infantry lay down their assault rifles and abandon the art of war. More resources. And a new technological age. Humans reach the cyber age. Rapid advancements in artificial intelligence and technologically augmented humans, the civilization undergoes drastic change and reaches new milestones in science, engineering, and the arts. He still dreamed of cyberspace, hope fading nightly. All the speed he took, all the turns he'd taken, and the corners he'd cut in Night City, and he'd still see the Matrix in his sleep. Bright lattices of logic unfolding across that colorless void. Neuromancer by William Gibson, American-Canadian speculative fiction writer, 20th century soul system. Okay. So advancement would be good for my resources, but it would also bump up the population growth. Wisdom is always a good choice, other than the fact that it's a little expensive on synthesis. I think I'll take it though. Crossing into the realm of AI, humans now have the ability to vastly improve their societies and facilitate communication with faraway beings. However, new technologies present great risks as well, so a little extra wisdom couldn't hurt. Humans can now build vast metroplexes, urbanizing the entire surface of Earth. Cyber Age technology gives the humans access to resources on nearby planets and moons in the solar system. It changes the way they look. That's cool. Environmental protection measures enacted by human eco-engineers restore an industrial livestock pasture on Earth. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about these guys. Oops, sorry. I have neglected your entire species. Yawning Abyss. Watir have found a deep chasm through which they claim to hear the wails of the damned. Rumors spread of demons crawling around in darkness below, with whips and pools of lava that reek of death and disease. Mystics and wise folk have gathered to discuss whether this is truly a gate to the underworld or some natural phenomena. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. John Milton, English poet, 17th century soul system. Hey, they're almost on to the next tech bubble. So, we can go prevention, regular development, or massive injustice. I could use the synthesis, but I really don't want to give up that much synthesis for prevention. I think I'll just go with regular development. A group of Batir enters the chasm, but few return. While some rare ores are brought out of it, the area is declared cursed and the lands around it are abandoned. Unfortunate, but had to happen. Can't be going too low in synthesis just in case there's an extinction event. Batir establish a new tribe. New technology age. Batir reached the cultivation age. Batir learned to mine simple metals, which they shape into a variety of tools. Using these, they can more easily prune their own growth and till the soil beneath their roots. They also begin domesticating and breeding animals, using them as beasts of burden, protection from herbivores, and a source of fertilizing manure. Huh. That's something kind of funny to think about. If a plant type species has animals as livestock, they'd want them to be carnivores. Then they wouldn't eat them. They would fight other creatures and take down the herbivores and other carnivores and omnivores. Just a funny thought. The Bani have long plagued our herd. They are clever creatures, which makes it great sport to kill them when they attack. The Grey Ones, Batir Watcher Collective, the 4th Age, Cycle 2, Pick System. Okay, yeah, probably just wisdom here. Or we could go power and gain the synthesis. Metal size and fire used to wage war against hostile settlements. Salt comes into use as a deadly weapon that blights the soil for generations. Yeah, I think I'll just take wisdom and then just try to pick up some extra synthesis elsewhere. The Batir began keeping records, creating the first system of writing, marking tablets with their own sap. They keep detailed logs of the flora and fauna on Vexus. That's kind of cool too. Yeah, that puts me at 36. Then I'll just pick some up. I don't want more growth, just more synthesis. Batir establish a new grove. More synthesis. Are the gods watching us? Batir establish a new grove again. New technology age for the Prune Dominion homeworld. Prune reached the light speed age. Racing into the light speed age, interstellar journeys are shortened from centuries to mere decades. Prune civilization sets new speed records in areas such as quantum state computing, light jet manufacturing, and mining for resources from faraway planets. From the moving organism, the lengthy time of the journey was a mere instant, provided the motion took place with approximately the speed of light. If the stationary organism is a man, and the traveling one is his twin, then the traveler returns home to find his twin brother much aged compared to himself. Albert Einstein, German theoretical physicist from the 20th century solar system. Oh my, that's expensive. Guess we'll just go advancement. That's actually not a bad thing for them since they have so much resource. I can do with a little more growth, and yeah, they're when you go up in tech level, that increases how much you could potentially lose in a war because they become more proficient being able to wipe themselves out, basically. So it's something to keep in mind. The Prune achieved true mastery of space travel, and colonial development crosses major hurdles. The civilization also makes leaps in genetic modification and cloning, perhaps even creating new life forms, such as trash-eating plants. 8.5 growth, okay. Say they're in pretty good shape. They still have 1.5 million years of resources, 1% harm potential, good ethics. Yeah, I think I need to focus on either these guys or the humans. Their growth is good. I think they're actually okay. How about the ship? The ship's getting close. Still has good ethics, low harm potential. I think they'll make it on 161 years. And all these are bad, so I don't want to take them anyway. Human multitudes. Change the name of their species here. Or I guess the governing faction, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. We'll keep working on the harm potential here. If I can keep bringing this down and then keep bringing that down, that'll save this a lot. Human cybernetic soldiers lay down their impulse rifles and abandon the art of war. War tech. Wow. Wow. Okay, that was just one improved tech, and I got that much. That's impressive. On Earth, the work of a remarkable cyberneticist is widely circulated among the humans. We could probably take them out of dystopia a bit too. It'd be nice. Humans enjoy an enchanting new style of virtual artwork. Where are they at? Depopulation. Okay, how bad we talking here? Genetic breakdown. Before they were born, the genes of the crew members of the Prune Outcast vessel were modified so they could perform better in zero-gravity space environment. These modifications have unforeseen side effects, and their internal organs start to collapse after a couple of years. That's really bad. Can we still call these gene-spliced creatures sent out by our civilization into deep space Gorgons? They are only shadows of our glorious race. Governor Vaha, 507 generations after Gorgon. Gorgon planetary tyrant. Epsilon Inti system. I think a small depopulation would probably be okay. Unless something particularly bad happens whenever they land on Earth. The medical officers of the Prune Outcast vessel can minimize the organ collapse, but most crew members still have a far shorter lifespan than Prune on Glycesi. See how bad we're talking here. It's 6%. That's not good. There we go. We can fix a little bit. New generation of Prune Outcast vessel officers takes over system maintenance. Members of the Prune Outcast vessel outcast crew recycle more than they consume. New life is created aboard the Prune Outcast vessel. Might be able to balance this out. Wow, already a new technological age. That was fast. They jumped almost straight from 8 to 10. Solar Age. Overcoming previous limits of propulsion and engineering, humans are now able to build ships capable of exploring and colonizing their own solar system. Advanced AI are built to escort them on their journey, while mastery of genetic engineering allows humans and their crops to adapt to the new colonies. To read about cities and huge industrial enterprises and really successful colonization, you can imagine what it might have been like What Mars Ought to Be Like. Philip K. Dick, American science fiction writer, 20th century, Solar System. And I don't want to burn 30 synthesis though. I'll just go with advancement. I think we're okay with that. Puts us at 5% growth. I need to take that back down. A little extreme. Of course, we are much better off on resources than we used to be. Started out in the 100-year. I mean, still not great. Humans can now establish permanent solar colonies on other planets in the solar system. Solar technology allows humans to harvest resources from asteroids and faraway planets in the solar system. Just zoomed out. I guess they've expanded where they live now. We'll take the pop back down. Human robotic infantry capture an influential solar colony in the solar system. Oh, here they come. Okay, that's why it zoomed out, because they're coming. Cool. Paradigm shift in Vex. The rise of monotheism. With city-states growing and rulers trying to unify their people, the concept of a single god becomes more and more attractive to the Batir. Having people rally around one religion is deemed to be very effective to advance a society, and so monotheism is proclaimed in Vet. We encountered a curious hive deep in one of the ash deserts. They not only pray to just a single magma guardian, but they have the audacity to believe that all other deep guardians are just imaginary figments. Hive Queen Whirl, Artemis Emperor, second cycle, Wormwood System. Okay. Ooh, that could be really troublesome. I'm thinking cultural descent, actually. I don't want to spend that much synthesis to fix this. And I sure don't want to do that. That would be catastrophic in the long run. That's just a terrible choice. Conflicts arise between polytheists and monotheists, both sides equally stubborn in their beliefs. Oppression of people of a different faith becomes the norm. Had to be that way. Yeah, they slipped into dystopia quite a bit. And a lot of harm potential. But I think we might be able to fix that in the long run. I don't want more pop growth. One powerful growth falls on Vexus. Just get the synthesis, I guess. Watch here more than the death of a beloved leaf speaker. Once powerful growth falls on Vexus. Destination reach. Human Dominions. The Prune Outcast vessel made contact with the Human Dominions. See how it goes. Alien contact. Hey, thanks for the raid, bud. Snore yawns a lot with the raid. Alien contact. After numerous years of travel, the Prune Outcast vessel has finally arrived at its destination. But the Sol system is inhabited by the Human Dominions. What is going to happen when the Prune make contact with the humans? Thanks for the follow. I couldn't see your full name. It didn't show up properly. Huh. Our foremothers never asked to be discovered. The moment the others came with a ship from the stars, everything changed about our world. And we could never go back. Bonnie has a big name, yes. It was Lale, Wolf Dancer, Odo Resistance Leader, Incarceration Generation 580. Federal Prison Planet 5. So our choices are exchange, observance, and extermination. Prune land on Earth and try to directly communicate with the human supervisors. Aggressive reaction of humans, 52% ethic value. Prune outcast vessel, observe the human dominions from a safe distance, determining if the humans are a threat. After first contact, both sides are hostile towards each other, and the Prune outcast vessel decides to attack the Sol system with full force. Total destruction of Earth, 30% chance. Prune ethics and harm value. Wow. Brutal. Okay, let's not do that. That sounds like the best option. 29% from the Prune. Yeah, we'll go with the observation. Human dominion. The Prune outcast vessel is observing the human dominions. Prune observe the humans from a safe distance and evaluate whether or not to reveal themselves before they continue their journey. And crawling on the planet's face, some insects called the human race, lost in time and lost in space and meaning. The Criminologist, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, 20th Century Sol System. Well, that's nice. Mutual enlightenment. Observation event. I can definitely afford 10 synthesis. After a long observation period, the Prune outcast vessel contacts the human civilization and shares knowledge, wisdom, and technology with them. Yeah, that fixed basically every problem the humans had. Will we find evidence of alien visitors hidden somewhere in our solar system? Well, yes, you already have. On Earth, a remarkable fusion engineer is widely circulated among the humans. Do we want population growth? Probably not. We'll just keep getting synthesis here. Charismatic human supervisor rises to power on the Sol system. Prune Commonwealth development event. Prune Commonwealth. Reduction in Gliese. Lagrangian accelerators. Prune engineers propose the construction of massive magnetic accelerators at the Lagrange points of the Gliese system. These would allow spacecraft to slingshot from point to point, greatly reducing both travel times and fuel consumption of spacecraft. I feel the need for speed. Top Gun, American military propaganda film, 20th Century Sol System. We can make it a civilization pillar for free. It's not a bad deal. The accelerators are constructed at the Lagrange points of every planet in the system. Travel within the system becomes easy and cheap enough that interplanetary commutes are not unheard of. They definitely don't need any help. They're good on all fronts right now. We'll go back to the Batir Groves. They're still a pretty young species. I might want to bring down their growth a little bit, but not right now. Depleted land region on Vexus recovers under the care of the Batir grafters. And next tech level for them. Batir reached the pollination age. Advanced metalworking techniques make it possible to maintain large soil fields and create effective weapons to fend off fauna. Most importantly, pollinating insects are now domesticated, sparking a social revolution of directed reproduction. The lovely flowers embarrass me. They make me regret I am not a bee. Emily Dickinson, American poet, 19th century soul system. I believe we'll go with the free wisdom. Yes, please. The study of self-pollination opens up new discussions about the nature of self-stewardship of the planet and an investigation of ancient taboos. Pollinating insects are domesticated by the Batir, allowing them to rapidly multiply their orchards across Vexus. Interesting. That also makes sense for them to domesticate. Earlier I was mentioning that I thought it would be carnivores that they would domesticate, since they would be no threat to them. That's also makes sense. Go with a little bit of population reduction here. Slow it down just a touch, because they are going to be resource scarce in the long run. New tech age for the humans again. Humans reach the light speed age. Racing into the light speed age, interstellar journeys are shortened from centuries to mere decades. Human civilization sets new speed records in areas such as quantum state computing, light jet manufacturing, and mining for resources from faraway planets. For the moving organism, the lengthy time of the journey was a mere instant, provided the motion took place with approximately the speed of light. If the stationary organism is a man, and the traveling one is his twin, then the traveler returns home to find his twin brother much aged compared to himself. Albert Einstein, German theoretical physicist, 20th century soul system. That's slightly expensive wisdom. I think I'll actually go for advancement for them this time. The humans achieve true mastery of space travel. A colonial development crosses major hurdles. Civilization also makes leaps in genetic modification and cloning, perhaps even creating new life forms, such as trash-eating plants. That would be handy. I do want to take that hot growth back down, though. That could be troublesome in the long run. Humans can now build extraplanetary cities throughout the solar system, colonizing even gas planets and stellar coronae. Lightspeed age technology gives the humans the ability to harvest resources from gas giants in the solar system. Humans establish a new commonwealth. Is it possible that an advanced civilization originating from any observable star already exists in the solar system? Again, yes, you've already met them. But you've caught up with them in tech. We'll go ethics value. Of course, they're a lot better off than they were, by far. Humans develop new media to communicate the history of their civilization. Wait. Rune Outcast Vessel is, what, going back? Rune Dream. Dreaming of a better future, the long journey to the Trappist gives the crew counselors among the outcast crew plenty of time to plan an ideal world and challenge the mistakes and underlying philosophy of the prune civilization. As great scientists have said, and as all children know, it is above all by the imagination that we achieve perception and compassion and hope. Ursula Le Guin, American science fiction author, 20th century soul system. So, okay, so they started going toward a different system because Sol was already settled. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Sure. Why not? Main objective. Hope we get really high on Utopia. The Outcast crew is hopeful and develops multiple theories on how to build a better society once they arrive in the Trappist system. 81% Utopia, nice. How far along are they? Okay. Build a little more synthesis here. Tech. An influential Batir Leaf caretaker rises to power on Vexus. A remarkable scholar is celebrated on Vexus for their contribution to Batir society. Batir established a new seed fellowship. Ooh. A little congested. Let me get a drink real quick. My sinuses have been giving me issues for about 5 days now. Spring is really taking it out of me. We'll go more tech. Batir mourn the death of a great scholar who leaves behind an important legacy. I need to actually lower their growth, if at all possible. Well, then again, their farm potential is really high. I need to bring that down, or the pop up, one of the two. I mean, this will keep growing at 4%. That's probably okay. Will the lights in our sky go dark one day? Development of the Prune Commonwealth. Enlightenment in Glisse. True gender fluidity. Technology becomes available to make dramatic changes to prune bodies in only a few hours, including seamlessly changing the biological sex of the body they were born in. Each prune can easily fine-tune their hormone balance, sex organs, and secondary characteristics at will. I look inside myself and I ask, do I feel like a man or a woman? And the answer is, I feel happy. Abigail Thorne, British philosopher, 21st century soul system. Let's see. Oh, that's a lot of synthesis. Some within the Glisse system embrace the technology, but other extraplanetary cities remain staunchly traditionalist. It stays a divisive topic among the crew. Oh. You know what? I'll just go for it. That still leaves me almost 50. Outmoded concepts of gender fade away as each prune chooses the body they feel most comfortable with. Opening the spectrum of gender brings new possibilities for fulfilling selfhood. I think we can just build our synthesis back up now. Prune can now build extraplanetary cities throughout the Glisse system, colonizing even gas planets and stellar coronae. Light speed age technology gives the prune the ability to harvest resources from gas giants in the Glisse system. We're living in a computer simulation. Okay, our population growth is actually a little high here, but their resource scarcity is still good though. I'm not sure if I want to bring it back down yet or not. We should never give asteroid terrorists access to our belt. Already once our society was nearly destroyed by a weaponized asteroids. Yes, it was. More synthesis. To establish a new commonwealth. Yeah, we'll just keep going for more synthesis. Development event. All-tier Seed Fellowships. They've changed their name. Consumption and Vex. Hunting Guild. Due to sophisticated traps and bows, the hunting of wild animals becomes much easier. Being a hunter turns into a lucrative profession, and a guild system is formed in the big orchards of Vexus. Until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. Chinua Achebe, Nigerian poet, 20th century soul system. We could go for prevention. Hunting guild turn into a breeding ground for assassins and mercenaries. They quickly become outlawed. Hunting rights are reserved only for the leaf caretakers of the Batir. They employ the expertise of the hunting guilds to decimate the wildlife around their palaces. Okay. Hunting guilds rise to power in Batir society, and the hunters become reputable leaf caretakers even after eradicating most wildlife around the orchards. That could quickly bring them to resource scarcity, though. That would be a bad move. I think regular development might be okay. Probably take about 1,000-year hit. Just a guess. Give or take. Still fine with their growth. It's 4 million and 2 million potential casualties. Are there beings like us beyond our world? I think I'll take the reduced harm potential, actually. 0.8. The riders of Vexus inspire the Batir to live peacefully. New tech age for the human commonwealth. Man, they're just blazing through the tech ages. The humans create machines capable of recursive self-improvement. These constructs can build even more powerful copies of themselves autonomously, growing their potential with each generation. The path of true artificial intelligence is clear. Can we drop the artificial intelligence? It is a bit like me calling you a meat-based processing system. On the Steel Breeze by Alastair Reynolds, British science fiction writer, 21st century soul system. Let's see. Self-learning AI is able to process data and innovate faster than any human scientist. Breakthroughs in all fields of research happen almost daily. I don't want more growth. They're actually starting to get a little out of hand on their population. But resource scarcity is better than it's ever been for the humans. I think I'll just stick with wisdom, though. Take that 10th synthesis hit and just build it back up. Humans can now build large orbital habitats monitored and maintained by artificial superintelligences. And they got a new tech age as well. Batir reached the float age. Great floating islands of ocean flora allow the Batir to reach all corners of Vexus. These living rafts provide nutrients and stability for long voyages. The largest serving almost as floating cities. A new age of exploration began. Legends tell of a time when we crossed the great oceans of our birth planet on a bed of softest algae. I take comfort when I imagine such a thing, dreaming of the gentle swaying as the warm sun fills me with life. Nor the pollen of Ningor, realm of refugee Archon, year 5088 since the evacuation, Exodus, Vessel D. That was a mouthful. That is a very expensive wisdom pick. I really don't want to keep picking advancement for them though. It's gonna bite me in the long run on the resources. I will this time though. Voltaire used the great floating islands to colonize empty lands across the planet. Soon new orchards are sprouting up everywhere. Okay, well, in the short run it definitely helped. Almost 13,000 years. Voltaire travel across the oceans of Vexus on floating islands of plant matter. These living rafts vastly expand the reach of their plantations. Beautiful poems are shared among the Voltaire on Vexus. Less harm potential. The thinkers of Vexus inspire the Voltaire to live peacefully. Oh man, they got two of them stacked there. I hate when they do that. That's unfortunate. It looks like we got the resource one. On Vexus, the Voltaire plantscapers establish new resource management methods. Okay. More tag. Voltaire mourn the death of a great academic who leaves behind an important legacy. And there's the prune outcast vessel on their way to the new system. After reaching Earth and switching directions, because it was already inhabited. The robotic technicians of the prune outcast vessel created a sophisticated prototype of an autonomous invasion android, an effective killing machine that can be injected into hostile societies or board enemy ships. The fringe captain of the prune outcast vessel is debating whether the outcast crew can spare resources to produce more invasion bots. Integrating autonomous units into the galactic network that were created by biointelligences with the sole purpose of infiltration and destruction is still a complex task. Some of their core drives are too destructive for the all-embracing pattern, but their sense of self should not be disintegrated during the process. 100 Mer, Galactic Network, Vertex, Universal Pulse, 23M-013K, Hyperdimensional Subset. So, this is like the super utopian vessel, but for whatever reason they made invasion bots. Go figure. I think I'm okay with regular development here. They're at 0.8 harm potential and they're a utopian society anyway. I think it should be okay. The fringe captain can spare some resources to create a decent amount of invasion bots. These killer androids will be useful in any military conflict that the prune outcast vessel may encounter. They actually need to fix their growth. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, considering how long I've left it like this. I almost forgot about them. Actually, I did multiple times. Because I thought they just, you know, got to Earth and settled with the humans, but that's not the way it went. Neither of these will give me much. I think I'll just go with the resources and then try to look for a growth. That's not a whole lot of people to land on the new system with. That's not the direction I wanted to go. Prune logistics officers are optimizing the efficiency of the prune outcast vessel. What discoveries await us in the TRAPPIST system? A new prune outcast vessel, Fringe Captain, is appointed. Hey, there we go. New life is created aboard the prune outcast vessel. And they reach their destination just as I break even. Cool. Prune arrived at the TRAPPIST system. Mining base. Prune outcast vessel lands safely on TRAPPIST Prime to build a colony. The goal of the Prune is to establish a mining base to extract resources from beneath the planet's crust. The prime directive of any interstellar colony must be to gather resources, even if it takes a millennia to bring them back to our one state. Believe me, future wars will be won by those with access to alien minerals. Governor Vaha, 507 generations after Gorgon. Gorgon planetary tyrant, Epsilon Indy system. What are our choices here? Perfect success. Prune find many valuable minerals and quickly establish a fully functional colony around the mining base. Trouble development. Prune do not find any valuable materials and try many more mining sites until they are barely able to support the colony. Colonists dig too deep and disturb a nest of hostile underground organisms. No one survives their wrath. Oh, that's gruesome. It's expensive, but let's go with the perfect success and hope no extinction events happen. I really would like this one to succeed. Okay, that gave them an absolute nice, wonderful amount of resources. But they do have a problem here. They will kill themselves if they don't get their population up. I need to either bring their kill potential down or population up. I honestly don't know if I can bring up their population in time before an extinction event happens. Let's be completely honest. Populous Prune colonial base becomes an outcast administrative hub. See, there you go. There's already one here. Growth in TRAPPIST. Oh, okay. No, I'm okay with that. The fringe colonists of the TRAPPIST system start to expand their living environment with the aim of the Prune mining base to promote growth in a major outcast colony. Plans are made to construct many new colonial bases. This is the goal, to make available for life every place where life is possible, to make inhabitable all worlds as yet uninhabitable, and all life purposeful. Hermann Oberth, German physicist, 20th century Sol system. Okay, well this sounds like something that could be useful for me. Okay, I will, well, maybe I should take the synthesis though. They already have positive growth. But if a war happens here, they're just done. I'll take the regular development. And then just try to build up my synthesis regularly. Wow. 14% growth. No, it's not bad. It's going to be bad in the long run, though, whenever it goes too high. We'll see what happens. Turn to the TRAPPIST system mourn the death of a beloved leader. Wow. Okay, we are burning through resources at an astonishing rate. Someday we'll receive a signal from our companions in the Glisa. Prune Fringe colonists establish a new faction. Okay, I think I'll leave them to their own devices for just a moment. Their growth is pretty high too. Will our sun expire and bring eternal darkness on to Vexus? You better hope not. You kind of depend on it. All life does, really. As far as we know it. A once powerful fertile territory falls on Vexus. Let's see. End of demo in 100 pulses. Okay. So we got a little time still. Is there life after death? Volunteer establish a new fertile territory. Prune Commonwealth development event. Knowledge in Glycé. Expert-based government. Prune create panels of scientific experts to guide policy decisions. All legislation is reviewed by the scientific community to explore its potential impacts using meticulously detailed simulations. We've arranged a society on science and technology in which nobody understands anything about the science and technology. And this combustible mixture of ignorance and power sooner or later is going to blow up in our faces. Carl Sagan, American scientist, 20th century solar system. Probably true. We'll go... You know what? I'm actually okay with dead end here, just to get a little bit of synthesis back. Power-hungry scientists attempt to use their position for personal gain. The Prune grow mistrustful of scientific experts and strip them of their influence. Prune establish a new commonwealth. Okay, they started growing a little bit on the tech. I was wondering whenever it was going to start going up again. The Glycé system, a major commonwealth falls from influence. It's possible that an advanced civilization originating from any observable star already exists in the Glycé system. Yes, but you guys don't know that yet. The ones you sent out do, but they haven't communicated back. New technology age for the Prune mining base. They are in the Lightspeed age. Vessels that can reach the speed of light can now be constructed, and shielding technology makes it possible to colonize even the corona of a star. Meanwhile, biotechnology allows living matter to be manipulated and designed like machines, opening not only a new frontier of technology, but perhaps a new understanding of what it means to be prune. My ancestors sent primitive capsules containing frozen spore clusters to the stars hundreds of flows ago. The seeds have the necessary data to extrapolate their knowledge and should arrive on their own at a technological level capable of breaking the lightspeed barrier. Omicron aspect, Zifu spore cluster, 890th flow, Alpha Centauri system. I'm okay with the wisdom here. Advancement would also be okay, considering I still need to get over 92 million. But we'll just go with wisdom. Inspired by the unusual neurology of Trappist Prime's alien life forms, Prune biotechnologists re-engineer their own neural pathways in order to become a wiser, more understanding being. Fringe colonists of the Trappist system enter a new technological era and call themselves the Neo-Prune from now on. The Neo-Prune are now able to create extraplanetary bases everywhere in the Trappist system and colonize gas planets and even the corona of their star. Does our home in the Glycé system still exist? For now, yes. Yes, it does. We can bring the harm potential down a little bit. 88.3 million now. Outcast factions of the TRAPPIST system demobilizes many prune space marines. Human clouds. They've changed their name as well. Paradigm shift in Soul. Troll construct. A bizarre form of artificial intelligence evolves in the networks of the Sol system. Formulated from crude jokes by long-forgotten human programmers and toxic memes preserved in the ancient data structure of the human clouds. The troll constructs develop an unpredictable and annoying behavior. Everybody fears the rise of a machine god, but what you should really fear is the rise of machine shitheads. Digital Dust, Brownian Net Jockey. Time Stage 770, Gliese System. Yeah, that sounds about right. Troll construct. Even if they speak in awful memes and behave like pubescent children, the troll constructs support the humans in every aspect of their society and generally mean well. The troll constructs play cruel games with the humans and construct bizarre orbital habitats all around the Sol system based on weird memes that only artificial intelligences understand. That would be catastrophic for me. Would cause almost immediate resource scarcity problems. Troll constructs. The networks of Sol become toxic. The artificial intelligences love pitting humans against each other and randomly give sentient guns to random habitat inhabitants to see what happens. Right. I don't really like any of these options. I can't afford a 50 synthesis hit for this. I really can't. And I sure don't want to take that. That'll cause almost extinction pretty quickly. Too much growth, not enough resources. So, yeah. Go with the terrible option. 21% harm potential now, and we broke even on that. At least it's not dystopia. Singularity Age technology enables the humans to transform waste materials found throughout the Sol system into valuable resources. We defend ourselves from malignant synthetic life forms created by alien species? Don't know. It's a good question. Humans establish a new cloud. Can bring down the harm potential. Conflict between two major human clouds is settled peacefully. Are we living in a computer simulation? We can bring the growth down. I think there's plenty. Human and AI commandos capture an influential orbital habitat in the Sol system. Slightly back into utopian. Humans create a phenomenal simulation of their civilization's history. Development event for the Batir Fertile Territories. They've changed their name again as well. Great War threatens Vex. Peasant Rebellion. With the rise of urban centers, the poor rural peasant class on Vexus suffers and is falling into serfdom. They rise up against their feudal lords and try to defeat the well-trained noble armies with their dedication and overwhelming numbers. Gayer's black-clad gang are we. Heya Oho. And we will wipe out tyranny. Heya Oho. Pikeman Ho. Forward go. On the cloister roof, let the red cock crow. German folk song, 16th century Sol system. Okay. Haven't heard that one before. this could be good for their growth, honestly. Definitely don't want total war. Regular conflict might be okay. It sucks that it cost me though. We might just go with peace just because that's not helpful. Peace is fine. I can fix the growth later. Question mark. A one powerful fertile territory falls on Vexus. Increase ethics. Advances in Baltier architecture inspire a redesign of their plantation. New technology age. Once they reach the industrial age, Baltier start to study electricity, steam power, and machine manufacturing in the industrial age. Harnessing the power of radio waves might allow them to send signals into outer space, but this civilization could accidentally eradicate itself as weapons development pressed forward. Interference with the planet poses a serious threat to the ecosystem that has sustained austerity through the ages. Modern bourgeois society, with its relations of production, of exchange, and of property, a society that has conjured up such gigantic means of production and of exchange, is like the sorcerer who is no longer able to control the powers of the netherworld, whom he has called up by his spells. Karl Marx, German philosopher, 19th century soul system. Okay. I think we go wisdom here. The industrial age. This age sees an explosion in the Baltier potential for telecommunication via radio waves. Mass-produced goods, including new medicines, could improve the lives of many. A complex network of deep canyons stretches across the surface of Vexus. Within this maze, a multitude of ecosystems and climate zones can be found. The Baltier support large industrial areas through industrial production. Industrialization gives the Baltier access to fossil fuels and mineral resources deep below the surface of Vexus. That's not what I wanted to see. I want to see negative population growth. Is there life after death? Baltier established a new fertile democracy. Tech. Baltier mourned the death of a great scientist who leaves behind an important legacy. Negative pop. There we go. The battle over an important Baltier industrial area is won by an army of rifle soldiers. Turn Commonwealth development event. Police say it's building spaceship. Again. Okay, cool. Where are they sending them this time? World ship construction. Crew are able to construct a titanic interstellar spacecraft housing a self-contained environment with its own internal atmosphere systems, artificial landscapes, and agricultural ocean sectors. The mission goal is to reach the Vex system. The ship is too big. If I walk, the movie will be over. President Scrooge from Spaceballs, science fiction comedy, 20th century soul system. I have seen it. It is funny. Wow. Okay, we'll just go with regular development. That is way too much emphasis to spend on that. The construction is successful and many prune become inhabitants of the world ship. Will they ever want to leave the comfort of their interstellar vessel when they arrive years later in the Vex system? Well, they're not going to be able to unless they wipe out the current inhabitants. Pretty sure Vex is inhabited. How many did they send? They sent 64.5 million prune. How many did they leave? Okay, well they had plenty. Okay. I was a little worried there for a second. Yeah, they send a lot. They don't have a whole lot of resources to go with it here. The world ship begins its interplanetary patrol ship from Lysae to the Vex system. Vex? Trappist. I think it's here, yeah. That's what I thought. It's funny that they went straight to the inhabited system. That's strange that they say the Neoprune have never made contact with other civilizations. Yet they met them before they even settled here. Strange. More resources is never a bad thing. On Texas, volunteer agricultural architects established new resource management methods. I don't want positive growth here. Watching more on the death of a beloved leaf head of state. Less dystopian. Plans as a volunteer architecture inspire a redesign of their industrial areas. A depleted land region on Vexus recovers under the care of volunteer agricultural architects. Negative pop. 6% is much more manageable. End of demo. Thank you. Anyway, this has been Farming Paradox. And I am Emyris Masnokinza Monoclonius. This will be the end of my stream. Thank you for watching, if you're still doing so. If you enjoy my content, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow, depending on the platform. Again, thank you for watching, and goodbye.